2,000 pounds. Now, can anybody figure out, by doing math, how much the Space Needle weighs if it's 9,550 tons? So that's 2,000 times 900, 550. Do we have any guesses? Okay, the answer is 19,100,000 pounds. The Space Needle weighs 19,100,000 pounds. That's a lot. Now, the Space Needle can handle winds. Here, let's draw a little picture of some wind for you guys. The Space Needle can handle winds at a hurricane level. So the Space Needle can handle winds that are 200 miles per hour. That's really strong, and that's because it's a really tall building, and it's in Seattle, which is a really, really windy city. So 200 mile per hour winds are okay. It won't knock it over. Now, let's go. Oh, here's an exciting fact. Now, Seattle is on the Ring of Fire. Do any of you guys know what the Ring of Fire is? Okay, I want you to get next to your partner and discuss what the Ring of Fire might be. Maybe come up with a hypothesis or a guess. Okay, can any of you tell me what your guess is? From here, I would call on like 2 to 3 people to see if any of them knew, and then confirm or deny, and then probably define again. So the Ring of Fire is an area all around the Pacific Ocean, which has high amounts of earthquakes and volcanoes. Well, because the Space Needle is in Seattle, which is on the Ring of Fire, it can handle earthquakes that are 9 in volume. 9 in volume means they're really, really big. They're like the whole floor is moving up and down more than my hands are. It's huge. So the Space Needle structure, 9 volume earthquakes are okay. Which is saying that the architects really thought about how to make the Space Needle. Now, there are 2 architects who made this, the Space Needle, the 2 who designed it, and their names are Graham and Coulson. 2 architects. Now, who here knows what an architect is? Okay, an architect is someone who designs buildings. They they draw out what they want. So maybe like an architect would bring in this type of picture and be like, I want a building that looks like this. And so let's write down in green, architect, because it's a key word. Architect, keyword, very important to know. And you know what? We need to write Ring of Fire in green because I want you guys all to remember the Ring of Fire. So, let's make sure it's in dark green. Okay. On top of the Space Needle, there's an observation deck. Now, we already said it's an observation tower, but right up in here, there's a little deck where people can look all around. There's also a restaurant right up at the top. Let's make sure you guys remember that there's a restaurant right up at the top. I'm going to draw a little fork and a spoon and a knife. And just a little arrow so you guys know there's a restaurant. Right at the top. And it's interesting because the restaurant rotates. Do you guys know what rotate is? Anybody? Okay, well, I'm going to rotate right now. Oh, I just rotated. You can rotate fast, or you can rotate slow, like I just did. Or you can rotate in the opposite direction. So rotating is turning in a circle. And you know what? Right next to the word, the keyword rotating, I'm going to draw 2 circle arrows so that we know rotating is turning in a circle. So when you eat in the restaurant, you sit down, you eat your food, and it just slowly moves you, little by little, in a big circle. And I think it's so you can maybe see more things when you're eating. Now, from the observation deck, where we talked about right on the outside, you can see all of the surrounding Seattle. Now, surrounding is an